So much hype. So much hype that they haven't started yet. All right, and here we go. ScouB on the right side, KVD and Lafungo on the left. Let's roll.
Essentially a 2-on-1, but we'll see if there's any advantage to it.
ScouB's strong enough that it doesn't matter. All right, first things first, technique. NBT, Joe, what the heck is this boosting that they're doing through the off-road portions?
So we called them new boosting techniques back in 1998. 2002, I think, is when we discovered them, and we learned that much like mini turboing, you can build up an off-screen timer if you hold R and zigzag left and right. And if you do that long enough, you can generate a boost, and then you can use that boost to go through off-road portions and never lose speed.
Let's make sure we're always pronouncing the word boost correctly.
Boosting, my
boost.
bad.
Yeah, so to build up a boost, you have to be holding R and turning for about 1 full second. It's a certain number of frames, but it times out to about 1 second. And if you actually lose that turn for 1 frame, you lose the boost. So these guys kind of trick the game into thinking they're turning by zigzagging back and forth really fast instead of doing it the intended way, which is around a big hairpin turn.
So this is Donut Plains 1. And this track is kind of loopy, so you'll see a lot of those naturally built boosts being generated on these big hairpins here. So they don't have to do a lot of manipulating to the left and right to try to trick the game. It's just a generally naturated boost. Naturally generated. How about that?
Naturated.
Naturated. I'm inventing words now.
One of the big things we're looking for is a mushroom. And it looks like Lafungo has it on the left-hand side. Hopefully he can pull off. This shortcut is pretty tough. He's going to try to aim at a little spot of water. And he didn't quite hop the wall. That's a shame. That's probably the toughest out of all the Donut Plains shortcuts, but the idea there is the mushroom gives you a powerful enough boost that if you hit the water, it'll generate a little bit of lift, and you'll get over the top of the wall, and you'll essentially skip a lap.
So I assume that you already went through why they're giving up for player 2.
Yes, I touched on that.
Okay.
It saves time.
It does. That's it.
About it.
So Lafungo and KVD won't be racing each other. They'll be racing basically against the clock, and whoever has the faster time, the second place person will just give up.
Yeah, but so far, everyone has hit every zoom start. The zoom start on this game for the first track, there's about a 13 frame window to hit that. You want to press the gas between the first and second lights on the timer that the Kidu gives you. But on every other race, it's about a 7 or 8 frame window, so a little bit tougher. There's a nice visual cue on NTSC, the word round 2 or 3 or whatever. When that starts to wipe away, when it's about halfway gone, is when you want to start your engine, and you'll get it every time. And
yeah, the timing is way different on PAL, so it's for PAL players to come over to NTSC, it's not so native, but for native NTSC players, it's a little bit easier for us.
And we have a standing requirement of all Super Mario Kart runners. Every zoom start missed is 10 push-ups. So I don't know how we're gonna get these guys to do that in this particular run, but that is a thing. So right now, the duo has a small advantage over ScouB, and their advantage will be increased slightly if they hold serve here in their racing lines, because ScouB is going to have to give up for DK, and he's going to get a game over, and that game over screen takes a little bit longer.
Yeah, it's about 3 seconds or so, if I remember correctly.
And then on the next race, since he's already gamed over, you're gonna have to see the lap splits pop up, and that's about a 4-second loss.
But specifically for Bowser Castle 1, we're going to be looking for a feather. The feather is able to cut a huge portion of the track, and if you're in second place, you're typically able to get the feather more often, as we just saw right there for Lafungo, I think, is on top, right? So,
yeah, Lafungo is the first player.
So he should be able to try to go around this first corner and just kind of carry it over and then jump this wall here. And he did.
Very nicely
Very
done.
nicely done. And he was able to recover, too. Oh, but he gets a lava drown. Oh, no, that's not good.
Yeah, the lava drown kind of pooched that one. I was very impressed. He had to deal with some lap traffic there, so that's
He did, yeah.
that's pretty
Luigi was
rough.
right in his way. So this is going to be pretty close. Coming out of Mushroom Cup, at least. Now, Mario Circuit 2 has a lot of long boosting, which is boosting. I'm sorry. And what you'll see is they'll hit the arrows right before the gap, and they'll try to bounce off the wall on the opposite side, and then hit the arrows again and fling the cart over the track, and they'll get a massive speed boost.
Yes, and we have asked these guys to go for this strat.
It's a very difficult strat.
And both
ScouB's already got a sideways one.
Kind of double clutched it. They hit the wall multiple times. You only want to hit that wall once. Their ScouB's got a good one.
Okay, I'll just biffed his one. So it looks like the safe strat by Lafungo is what he's going to be going for, just as a backup plan, which is not a bad idea. And ScouB's going to go balls to the wall, apparently.
Oh, yes. ScouB is the master at this. Well, at least in the known SMK community.
Wow, he can get a high 50 here.
Yeah, ScouB actually set out earlier this year.
Yeah, 58, not bad.
To break the unofficial world record on time trial, which is 59.97.
Unofficial because?
Well, because it's not on the Super Mario Kart player site.
That is correct.
MarioKart64.com/SMK.
Shameless plug time.
Completely shameless plug, because we get to see the trophy award ceremony. And KVD and Lafungo did it right. They got towed at the top of the podium.
And they still are probably about 1 second ahead. 2 seconds. I guess 3 seconds. Okay.
That's how they want to do it.
That's textbook right there. This is a kind of an experiment, because this hasn't been done before. So I'm kind of curious how this plays out as well.
Choco Island 1, a lot of really cool speed strats with the items. Both Mushroom and Feather have gigantic cuts on this track.
Indeed, you can get a mushroom and bounce off the corner of a wall, and you can basically do a whole lap with full speed because of the bumps. They don't slow you down. So it's a really interesting strat, and if you get a feather, you can cut off about half of the track and end it pretty quickly on the last lap.
Mushroom for ScouB. And now he's going to use these bumps to
try to hit all the bumps.
Speed.
There you go. So it's about a full lap's worth of bumps there. That's excellent.
More than that.
Wow, that was incredible.
Gorgeous long boost.
Holy jeez. Lafungo just hit Yoshi, the ultimate troll. That is an excellent Choco Island 1, and a green shell to DK to boot. Excellent work.
A little hang up over on KVD and Lafungo's side. I believe they both at some point hit the wall that they were trying to jump over. A relatively new strategy.
The wall jump, yeah. You're also at the very beginning of the track.
Like 2 years old.
Yeah. Well, we still call boosting techniques new if they're 16 years old. So
yeah, I know. And
they'd be able to drive in America by now.
All right, just like Ghost Valley 1, taking the platform jump. This is probably the hardest platform jump to actually execute, but on 150cc, it kind of becomes trivial.
Yeah.
And now, of course, I say that, and we have KVD falling off the face of the earth.
I think what's gonna be interesting here is who's gonna get the feather, and can they use that to jump the finish line gap?
Man.
Oh yeah, there's a feather right now for KVD. So if he can come back into this one, this will be interesting.
Yeah, this is one of the most difficult feathers to pull off, and he just kind of got trolled
There's a
there.
lot of trolling happening over on the left side of the screen here.
So KVD with this feather is going to try to turn all the way around after this first turn.
Here we go.
Yeah, he was too
Just
late.
a little late. Just a little late on the A
Looks
button.
like the setup had it.
It looked pretty good.
What he was trying to do there was jump off and actually fall into the void and just clip the finish line so that it would register as a lap as he fell down.
Which is allowed. There are a lot of other finish line tricks that were not allowed in the current category. Like using Lucky 2 on Ghost Valley 1, Ghost Valley 2.
Main thing is if you clip the finish line as you're going, it's fine.
Yeah.
If Lakitu carries you across the finish line, that is a no-no, and that's a DQ for the race.
That's right. So ScouB's got about a lap and a half lead here, which is not insurmountable by any means. Anything can happen.
Yep. Mushroom on this track is a big time gain. Mushroom on this track is another somewhat difficult one, not as nearly as difficult as the one on Donut Plains 1 that Lafungo attempted, but much harder than the one on Donut Plains 3 that's coming up that we'll hopefully be able to see.
I wonder how Lafungo's going to use this star here.
Yeah, star on this track is
because you got to burn it. Because you
Garbaggio.
need another item. So yeah, that's a good place to burn it. But the star mechanics, the physics of the cart changes in. Yeah, it results in a crash. So was it beneficial? Probably not.
A little bit of trolling by Koopa on ScouB there, but finishes with a decent time. Lafungo nails the shortcut
excellent
with the mushroom.
Excellent work.
And that's what we're talking about. You hit the water at high speed like that, and it bounces you up, and it provides just enough lift
Like
to
skipping
get you
rocks.
over the wall.
And
Feather
ScouB
for
already.
ScouB
The
on
first
Bowser
lap.
Castle 2. So if he gets really aggressive, there's a couple different shortcuts that you can do with the feather.
It must be that French RNG, by the way. I've never seen this before. A feather on lap 1 on Bowser Castle 2. That's incredible.
He's going. Oh my gosh, he did the huge one. After turn 1, it jumped the entire thing. He's going to hope for
ScouB's
another
going for
feather
it.
so that he can clip the finish line.
Yeah, ScouB's going for the world record on this right now. Jeez.
There's also one other shortcut that you can do. You can turn at this first junction here. You can turn all the way around, and there's a zipper to hit. You hit that going backwards, bump into the wall and trigger a long boost, and then feather over, and you land on the finish line straight away.
Yeah, you saw that happen by Neo in the legendary AGDQ 2016 race.
I was going to plug that after this cup. Unbelievable, Joe.
I can't believe I did that. I totally blue balled you. Oh yeah, blue balled you. Sorry. Whatever.
Yeah, that was an interesting slip there.
Whoops.
Okay, I realized we haven't talked about coins at all. Coins
That's
are
true.
important.
Yes. Why are they important, Dan?
You need 10 coins to reach top speed.
Excellent.
And even worse, if you have 0 coins and you get bumped into by another racer, you spin out. It's pretty terrible.
Lafungo gets a late feather here. And
He
barely
tried to
misses the
show
finish line.
off, but that would actually cost time if he had finished that. He did try to show off the finish line strat with the feather. So Mario Circuit 3, the first instance of infinite boosting. It lasts a very short time because it's impossible to control on this track.
Yeah, you're going too fast at 150cc, so it's not really that beneficial. You can probably hang on to it for about, I don't know, 3 seconds or so before you have to start making some harder cuts.
But the whole idea of it is you just release a boost, pronounce it right, a boost over
Boost.
that zipper on the final straightaway, and then you can drive through any off-road portion for as long as you can, basically. And if you don't run into anything or you don't hop to break the boost up, it will last forever.
Other than that, though, it's a pretty straightforward NBT type of a run. Not really much going on. You can't get feathers on Mario Circuit 1, or sorry, Mario Circuits, so you can't really cut any portions of tracks to save a lot of time.
Yeah, feathers aren't allowed on MC1 or the Mario Circuits or the Donut Plains.
That's correct. Although some people lead you to believe that.
Yeah, if you have a Game Genie.
Yeah.
Someone with initials TTF, that I don't know who that would be.
Shout out to T-Man.
Anyway.
What happened to the fourth racer? The fourth racer didn't show up, so we're just going to be quitting out with him. No, it's a two-player strategy. You actually save time for every single track if you play in two-player because you don't have to see the lap splits break down for about 5 seconds. So you save all that time for each track.
All right. First race in Star Cup. Koopa Beach 1, KVD's favorite. This one has several different techniques that you can use, but we're going to see one primary technique from these guys.
It is possible to get a mushroom and cut a pretty good portion of the track by just skipping over the darker water is the deep water and you can fall into it. The shallow water is obviously lighter, so yeah, you already saw that happen right there. Perfect.
Yeah, and what these guys are doing is they're building up a boost and combining two techniques together. One is called water sliding. If you hop into the water and have a power slide going, and then you just kind of release everything that you're holding. You release the direction, you release the R button, and some people even release the gas. You don't lose any speed. And they're combining that with a boost. So they slide into the water, don't lose any speed, and then the boost kicks in, and then they kind of shoot through the water.
So that was a very strong Koopa Beach 1 by ScouB there. He was only 2 or 3 seconds off the world record, which is insane. It's a very short track, naturally, but yeah, that was consistent driving.
Yeah, low 40s for KVD as well.
Yeah, that's great too.
Not gonna argue that. This is
they're
another
making up
one.
some time, but they're still kind of a bit behind.
Another one, just like its brother and Flower Cup. Feather.
Man, look at these items.
ScouB.
Look at these
This
items.
is gonna turn in a 4-second lap right here.
This French RNG, I swear.
Hop
It's a real
over
thing.
that wall. Lap 3 triggered, and now lap 4 triggers. Way to go.
Can't ScouB play some tracks with one controller and other tracks with the other controller to not game over? I suppose that could be, but then you'd be in last place for a lot of the tracks if you switched off like that.
Yeah,
I don't know. We haven't really tried that.
Typically, you don't want to be starting in 8th place because then
Right.
you have to weave through all the computer players when you're hitting your zoom start. So maybe that's a viable strat. We would have to look into it, but maybe not.
Absolutely. I'm curious though, if you don't have to game over with one of them, would you save that 3 or 4 seconds? Maybe. I mean, obviously we're seeing that on the left side, so yeah, it's a pretty viable strat, I'd assume.
So we haven't gone over item probabilities yet either.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of losing my mind over here watching ScouB play, because his RNG is better than I've seen from anybody for a very long time.
Yeah, pretty much on any particular pickup, you have about a 8% chance to get a helpful item. Actually, I think it's on Donut Plains and Mario Circuits, you have about an 8% chance to get a mushroom, since you can't get a feather. And on all the other tracks, it's an 8% chance to get a feather and an 8% chance to get a mushroom.
Yeah.
So over the course of a race, picking up five items, you have a decent chance to actually get a helpful item, but
But more often than not, if
it's
you're in
less than
first place,
50%.
yeah, if you're in first place, you get coins a lot more often, and if you're in second, you get some advantageous items. But it's not like you can't get like lightning bolts and other like catastrophic ones. Those are just out the window. So
Yeah, bolts and stars and ghosts are, if
yeah,
you're in first, are impossible.
right. You have to be trailing by quite a bit to get those items. So the most often you'd see is probably bananas, coins, and green shells if you're in first, which is why getting feathers and mushrooms so often for ScouB has been kind of a statistical outlier here.
So Bowser Castle 3 demonstrates one of the primary reasons we like to run 2-player mode, because there's only 2 thwomps down instead of 4, and at one particular spot that ScouB is approaching now, 4 thwomps makes a full wall, and if they're all down, you're pretty much boned.
That's right.
There is a 1 pixel window on the left side that you can use. You have to run into the wall. Maybe it's 2 pixels, but you have to run into the wall to get past them, and you just lose all your speed anyway.
Yeah, there's
wow.
well, yeah, I almost got sniped by the Yoshi egg.
We've been waiting for it to happen. It didn't quite there.
See, that's why I always picked Yoshi as my second player, because you take that out of the ball game immediately.
Feather for Lafungo on the left.
There you go.
Big cut coming right here.
Nice.
Hit it
Bounce
pretty
off the
well.
wall. Yeah, you keep speed. That's good. Should be able to make up some time from that. Although it still appears to be about a lap and a half down. But yeah, the advantages for 2-player are just so much better than 1-player. So we always pick this category to run when we're doing an RTA run. 1-player just kind of doesn't make any
swag feather there, hitting the zipper.
Mario Circuit 4. Do you wanna talk about this track? Because I don't really know what to say besides just drive around for about 2 minutes.
This track is lame.
Yeah.
At least on 150cc, it's like a minute 20 or so.
There's not much going on. It's all like Mario Circuit 3, where you just kind of just hope for consistent driving lines.
I mean,
you can get a mushroom and long boost.
Tiny long boost at least.
Yeah, but it's not like Choco Island 1 where you can just go around the whole track. Where's he gonna use it?
My guess would be on this after the final hairpin.
The second hairpin? Yeah.
Or maybe
Seems
just
to be
save
hanging
it
on.
for disaster.
I suppose.
Yeah, that's probably the strategy. I doubt these guys are watching each other stream. They're
No,
probably
absolutely not.
just going after it. And ScouB is like, if I get sniped by Yoshi or someone else, then this will help me recover a little bit faster. And it's equal for all computer players that they're likely to throw something at you and snipe you on top of your head, but it just seems like Yoshi is always the culprit.
Yeah. That's, again, why I always pick him for second place. So Lafungo has a mushroom. He'll probably use it. Well, he just crashed, so maybe he'll use it at the very last corner.
And they've set it up so that
sideways
so
boost.
Lafungo had a sideways long boost. That happens if you're steering while you hit the wall. But I'm pretty sure they set it up correctly again, where they didn't get the game over screen. So, one final shameless plug. Every summer, mid to late August, the CDM, the Championnat du Monde, happens over in Europe. Most of the time it's in France. This past summer it was in the Netherlands. And all the best, well, at least all the best European Super Mario Kart players gather in one spot and they compete in all the modes. Time trial is usually night 1, then match race, then battle mode, then 150cc. And ScouB has owned that for the last 4 years. Canceled the reign of Neo, who won the championship for like 6 or 7 years straight. So back
Yep,
to
it's
racing.
dominated by the French. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But they make up over half of the participants, so it's not really that outrageous.
Yeah, that has been going on since like the early 2000s. It's been going on for an ungodly long time.
Yeah, I think their first one was like 2006 or something like that.
Okay,
So
mid
it's a
2000s.
it's a really old annual event.
Yeah, but our little community has been going on for what is it? Almost 20 years
20
now.
years, yeah.
Mushroom
Yeah.
for Lafungo.
Excellent.
That's
Nicely
the easy skip. Typically, you want to do that on the last lap so that you don't have any slowdown. But using it
Gotta
there,
make up some time.
well, KVD's got one now too.
There you go.
If you use it there, you do get one more shot at a mushroom.
Do it again. Ah,
And-
coins.
And shucks. Coins and coins, of course. Lafungo
Sad
almost
trombone.
got sniped by a mini mushroom.
Can someone explain this race to me? Well, what they're trying to do is essentially all three players are racing against each other. However, KVD and Lafungo are kind of doing it together, so it doesn't quite make any sense. But they're trying to get the fastest possible time for the track in a co-op way. So they're attempting to beat it as fast as possible. So whoever's in first, they're trying to get them to go as fast as possible, and then they'll trade off here and there. All in an attempt to beat ScouB, which might prove to be futile.
Yeah, the basic premise is you want to give up 6 seconds after the first player finishes, and that skips a little mini cutscene when the credits pop up or the lap splits pop up, which saves about 4 seconds. And that's what ScouB does too with his idle second player.
Yeah. The advantages for two-player are still immense.
ScouB had a little bit of a drown off a long boost when he got into some lap traffic, so lost a bit of time.
Yeah, we're seeing a decent catch-up. There's only 3 tracks left, so we'll see how much that actually plays into it.
Now Ghost Valley 3 taking the platform jump again, the easiest of all the Ghost Valleys to make. That is, I am obligated to say that from here and forevermore when I commentate any sort of race, especially involving KVD. Because again, that AGDQ 2016 race, which between KVD and Neo finished like 12/100ths of a second apart, KVD fell on the platform jump the very first lap. And I thought he was going to turn around and slap me in the face, but he didn't have enough time to do that.
So what we're seeing here, by the way, you'll be noticing that either ScouB or whatever, they're slamming off the wall and then hitting that arrow right before the jump bar. And unfortunately, ScouB just hit a mushroom, which is going to slow him down quite a bit. So this might actually become really close toward the end here. But what that does is it generates sort of a long boost effect, but it dies out just before the finish line. So you're able to save roughly 2 seconds or so.
Yeah, that mini mushroom is about
That's a killer.
6-second time loss.
Yeah.
Maybe more. Yeah, feather is nice for Lafungo. Makes that
Wow,
shortcut
nice.
beautifully.
So you'll see that KVD slowed down right there before the finish line just so they can save that time.
And now we're not quite to a sync yet. But we're getting there. I mean,
Slowly but surely.
And this track is kind of notorious. It's like Ghost Valley 3 and Vanilla Lake 2 are just brutal on runs.
And this is kind of KVD's bread and butter here, so we'll see if he can make up some time. ScouB already crashed in lap 1, by the way. He went to a complete stop.
And this track is kind of KVD's bread and butter. He absolutely loves this. What does he call it? Like stunt paradise or something like that. And ice physics on this game are kind of crazy. But
Man,
you
it's
kinda,
mesmerizing how fast you can do this track. This is great.
You can kind of negate the ice physics just by hopping and power sliding around.
So
you
that's
know
a
how the turning
solid
mechanics work.
VL2. Wow, 43 seconds. Incredible. Incroyable.
And look at this. We are
Almost
like
neck
a
and neck
second
here.
apart because of that game over screen and a crash that cost ScouB 4 seconds.
Yep. So to quote Dan Herneman, my co-commentator here, this might come down to the wire.
It's
Kappa
and
Pride, everybody.
KVD, yes, Kappa Pride. KVD said that if he got a mushroom on this track, he would go for the finishing mushroom, which is probably the toughest shortcut in the game.
Well, there is a mushroom. It's in play.
It's Lafungo. I'm not sure if I'm sure he knows it. I'm not sure if he can execute it, and he kind of used the wimpy mushroom there.
That's a generic one. I get another mushroom, but he just hit a thwomp. Oh boy.
Yes, the electric thwomps.
The star thwomps are brutal.
I mean, we couldn't have asked for a better overall race. ScouB got to show off some pretty sweet shortcuts.
Oh,
and he just got mini mushroom.
Oh no!
Oh, KVD did, and then he got squished. And that pretty much seals it.
Oh my god! That's Carol's gonna be so upset about that. The phrase "Why always me" is just running through my head right now.
Good game to
Oh my! Oh my god!
31-25 for KVD Lafungo. 7 seconds apart.
That is so unfortunate. Jeez. That was going to be an extraordinarily close race, and then all of a sudden...
Yeah, I think I gave it the commentator's curse there.
Oh my. For good measure.
Off all the strats. KVD and Lafungo coming back in their co-op style. Gonna make for the epic comeback, but was not meant to be, and Connell just jumps into the void. Kind of ticked off, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure he's very upset right now. Probably lots of swearing in Dutch.
All I know is French. All I know is putain.
Putain de merde.
and of course donk if you're if you know that inside joke. But anyway, we got a whole La Hulk block coming up.
Oh, excellent.
He's got like 100 million runs to do again.
I want to thank everybody that is watching. I want to thank Feasel for helping me get this set up, because I know that that was kind of a horror show at the beginning there. Apologies, but I think everything went smoothly. It was a good race. 31-25 I think is still pretty good for KVD and Lafungo. So yeah, if it wasn't for that mini mushroom, this could have been really, really close.
Yeah. So I guess we'll hand it back over to the speed gaming crew. Keep this awesome marathon rolling.
Yeah.
So,
thanks again, everybody. I hope everybody had fun. I'm sorry for bad commentary on my part. Dan was awesome as per usual. So, so thanks. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
All right. So for Joe Reinreb, I'm Dan_H, and our runners ScouB SMK, Lafungo, and SMK_Machine. Give them a follow, guys. And we will throw it back to the crew. Enjoy La Hulk's runs, everybody. See you later.
Thank you. Peace.